Welcome to Conspiracy Theories and Cover-Ups. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In the heart of Vatican City, beneath the grandeur of St. Peter's Basilica, lies an enigma shrouded in secrecy and intrigue, the Vatican Archives. These catacombs of knowledge, stretching over 50 miles, house an estimated 35,000 volumes of catalogued documents, a collection that has been meticulously amassed over 12 centuries. But what if, among these ancient texts and treasured relics, there lie artifacts of a time before known history, a time before the Great Flood, as described in biblical texts and other ancient accounts from around the world? The Vatican's possession of such pre-flood artifacts is a conjecture that has intrigued scholars, historians, and seekers of forbidden knowledge for decades. The theory posits that the Church, over its long and storied history, has come into possession of artifacts that predate the Great Flood, an event described in ancient texts not just from the Judeo-Christian tradition, but also in Sumerian, Mesopotamian, and even Native American oral histories. These artifacts, if they do exist, could potentially provide unparalleled insight into a time period that remains largely shrouded in mystery. The idea that the Vatican might be housing pre-flood artifacts is not without merit. Consider the Church's long history of acquiring and preserving ancient documents and relics. The Vatican Library, separate from the archives, holds an impressive collection of rare books, maps, and manuscripts, including the oldest known copy of the Bible. If the Church has been so devoted to preserving these pieces of history, it stands to reason that they might also possess and protect artifacts of even greater antiquity and significance. But why would such artifacts be kept hidden? Why would the Church not share such significant discoveries with the world? Critics of the theory argue that there is simply no evidence to support the existence of such artifacts. But proponents counter that the secretive nature of the Vatican archives itself lends credence to their claims. For centuries, the archives were completely closed off to outsiders. And even today, only a select few scholars are granted limited access. In this sea of uncertainty, one thing remains clear. The Vatican archives, with their vast and largely unexplored contents, are a tantalizing mystery. As we delve into the possibility of hidden pre-flood artifacts, we enter a world of enigma and intrigue, where the line between known history and forbidden knowledge becomes blurred. The question is not just whether the Vatican is hiding these artifacts, but what they might reveal about our past, and what implications they could have for our understanding of history. In the pursuit of knowledge, every stone unturned could lead to a revelation. And perhaps, beneath the Vatican, lies the greatest revelation of all. The origins of the Vatican archives trace back to the early days of the Catholic Church, when the preservation of religious texts was of paramount importance. The Vatican's secret archives, as they are officially known, were established by Pope Paul V in the 17th century. However, the records within them date back to the 8th century, making the archives a veritable treasure trove of historical artifacts and documents. The political climate that surrounded the founding of the archives was one fraught with power struggles and religious conflict. The Catholic Church was a major power player in Europe, and its influence extended into all spheres of life. The creation of the archives was, in part, an assertion of this power. By controlling the preservation and dissemination of knowledge, the Church could exert influence over society and maintain its dominant position. From the very beginning, the archives were shrouded in secrecy. Only the Pope and a small group of trusted confidants had access to them. This air of exclusivity and mystery has continued into the modern era, despite some changes in policy. In 1881, Pope Leo XIII opened the archives to researchers, but this access was, and still is, heavily restricted. Scholars must undergo a rigorous vetting process, and even then, they are only permitted to view a limited number of documents. Some sections of the archives remain completely off-limits, fueling speculation about what might be hidden within them. It's within this atmosphere of secrecy that rumors about the existence of pre-flood artifacts in the Vatican vaults began to circulate. For those who subscribe to this theory, the Church's historical penchant for acquiring and preserving ancient artifacts, coupled with the restricted access to the archives, suggests the possibility of a hidden cache of relics from a time before the Great Flood. The Church has consistently denied these claims, maintaining that the archives contain nothing more than historical documents and religious artifacts. But for those who believe in the existence of pre-flood artifacts, this denial is part of a larger pattern of secrecy and control. They argue that the Church has a vested interest in maintaining the status quo, and that revealing the existence of pre-flood artifacts could disrupt this balance of power. This tension between belief and skepticism, between the known and the unknown, is what makes the Vatican vaults such a source of fascination. The mere possibility of hidden pre-flood artifacts raises a host of tantalizing questions. If such artifacts do exist, what might they reveal about our distant past? And how might this knowledge reshape our understanding of history and our place within it? As we delve deeper into this mystery, we find ourselves on the threshold of a world steeped in secrecy, where the line between history and forbidden knowledge is ever blurred. Knowledge of the Vatican's potential trove of pre-flood artifacts isn't confined to a small group of theorists. It's a speculation that has caught the attention of various individuals, organizations, and agencies worldwide. Among these are archaeologists, historians, and academics who are intrigued by the potential revelations such artifacts could hold. They are driven by a yearning for truth, a desire to reconstruct the past, and to fill in the gaps in our understanding of human history. To them, the potential existence of pre-flood artifacts in the Vatican vaults represents an unparalleled opportunity for discovery and illumination. Then there are the various religious groups and scholars. They are divided, with some believing in the existence of pre-flood artifacts and others skeptical. Those who believe argue that these artifacts could provide irrefutable proof of biblical accounts, strengthening faith and cementing the Church's authority. On the other hand, the skeptics suggest that such claims are mere distractions from the true teachings and purpose of faith. Also noteworthy are the conspiracy theorists and fringe researchers who maintain that the Vatican is not just hiding pre-flood artifacts, but also suppressing information that could fundamentally challenge our understanding of history, religion, and perhaps even our own existence. There is, of course, the Vatican itself, a significant player in this unfolding mystery. The Church maintains a steadfast denial of the existence of such artifacts, a stance that only fuels the curiosity and speculation. Some interpret this as a protective measure, a means of safeguarding the world from potentially destabilizing knowledge. Others see it as a clear indication of a vast cover-up, a deliberate withholding of truth for reasons known only to the Church. Yet the Vatican is not a monolith. Within its walls are factions and individuals who might harbor different views and motivations. There are those who believe in transparency and would favor the release of any hidden artifacts. Others may agree with the Church's official stance, viewing the rumors of pre-flood artifacts as an affront to the sanctity of the Church and its teachings. Despite the varying perspectives and motivations, the common thread that runs through all these groups is a shared fascination with the unknown, an insatiable curiosity about the past, and a relentless quest for truth. Each party, in its own way, is drawn to the enigma of the Vatican vaults, captivated by the tantalizing possibility of what might lie within. Their pursuits, whether driven by scholarly interest, religious faith, or a desire for disclosure, all converge on this point of contention, this nexus of mystery, the Vatican vaults. The question remains, are they home to pre-flood artifacts, or is this all just an elaborate, enduring myth? The intrigue surrounding the Vatican vaults and their potential pre-flood artifacts first came into public consciousness with a series of unusual events and discoveries. These incidents, shrouded in mystery and often left unexplained, have sparked curiosity and speculation among scholars, conspiracy theorists, and the general public. One such event was the sudden, unexpected resignation of Pope Benedict XVI in 2013, an act virtually unprecedented in the history of the Catholic Church. It was only the second time in the Church's 2,000-year history that a pope resigned voluntarily. The official reason given was Pope Benedict's ailing health. However, the abrupt nature of his departure led some to speculate that there was more to the story. Rumors began to circulate that the Pope had stumbled upon a hidden truth in the Vatican vaults that compelled him to step down. Around the same time, a series of leaks from within the Vatican, collectively known as the VatiLeaks scandal, further fueled the flames of speculation. Documents revealing corruption, mismanagement, and internal strife within the Church were exposed. Among these leaks were cryptic references to ancient artifacts, which some interpreted as a coded reference to pre-flood relics. In 2016, the Vatican opened the doors of its apostolic library to a select group of scholars for the first time in centuries. This move was met with surprise and curiosity. Was the Church finally ready to reveal its secrets, or was this a strategic move to divert attention from the more profound secrets still hidden in the vaults? More recently, a renowned biblical archaeologist claimed to have discovered a pre-flood artifact, a clay tablet with an ancient script, among the Vatican's collection. The Vatican denied the claims, but the incident ignited fresh debates about the Church's transparency and the possible existence of pre-flood artifacts in its vaults. These events and revelations, though disparate and inconclusive, have added new layers to the mystery of the Vatican vaults. They have heightened public interest and sparked renewed debates on the existence of pre-flood artifacts. The narrative continues to evolve, with fresh theories, claims, and counterclaims emerging regularly, each adding its own thread to the intricate tapestry of this enduring enigma. While definitive answers remain elusive, the quest for truth continues, driven by a collective fascination with the unknown and a shared desire to pierce the veil of secrecy enshrouding the Vatican's vaults. Each new discovery or incident, whether real or alleged, only serves to deepen our collective intrigue and intensify the quest for the truth about the Vatican's alleged pre-flood artifacts. The Vatican, like any institution of its size and influence, has mechanisms in place to control the flow of information. To protect its interests, maintain its reputation, and uphold its authority, the Church has been known to employ a range of tactics, from outright denial and deflection to strategic silence and diversion. In the case of the rumored pre-flood artifacts, the Vatican has consistently denied their existence. It has dismissed the claims as baseless, attributing them to a misinterpretation of the leaked documents or sensationalist reporting. This tactic of denial is a common response when institutions are faced with potentially damaging allegations. By denying the claims, the Vatican seeks to discredit the sources and undermine the credibility of the allegations, thus controlling the narrative. But denial is not the only tool in the Vatican's arsenal. Another strategy is to divert attention from the contentious issue. The opening of the Apostolic Library to scholars in 2016 can be seen in this light. By allowing limited access to its archives, the Vatican was able to create a semblance of transparency while diverting attention from the more controversial claims concerning its vaults. This move allowed the Church to control the narrative, steering the conversation away from the rumors and speculation about the alleged pre-flood artifacts. In other instances, the Vatican has remained silent, refusing to comment on allegations or respond to inquiries. This strategy, known as strategic silence, is employed when any response might validate the claims or draw more attention to them. By refusing to engage in the debate, the Vatican maintains a posture of indifference and authority, effectively relegating the claims to the realm of conspiracy theories and unverified speculation. Corporations and governments have also played a role in controlling the narrative. The media, for instance, often frames these theories as fringe beliefs, relegating them to the realm of pseudoscience or sensationalist journalism. This framing marginalizes those who subscribe to these theories and discourages open discussion and exploration of the topic. Despite these suppression and control efforts, the narrative continues to evolve. New theories emerge, old ones are revisited, and the search for the elusive truth continues. The question remains: are pre-flood artifacts hidden in the Vatican vaults? Every denial, every diversion, every silence only serves to deepen the mystery and fuel the quest for answers. The veil of secrecy may be impenetrable, but the human spirit is relentless in its pursuit of the truth. In the face of such overwhelming and persistent silence, those who dare to question the official narrative must often do so at great risk. This has been the case with several whistleblowers and independent journalists who have tried to bring the theory of pre-flood artifacts in the Vatican vaults into mainstream conversation. One of these brave individuals is investigative journalist Gianluigi Nuzzi, known for his exposé on the Vatican's financial scandal in his book Merchants in the Temple. In 2012, he was put on trial in the Vatican for publishing confidential documents leaked by a whistleblower within the Vatican itself, a man named Paolo Gabriele. Nuzzi faced significant professional and personal risks for his work, but his courage served to bring issues of Vatican transparency to the fore. Moreover, the release of the so-called Vatileaks, a massive cache of confidential Vatican documents leaked to the press in 2012, was a watershed moment for conspiracy theorists and Vatican watchers alike. The documents did not provide concrete proof of pre-flood artifacts, but they did reveal a secretive and labyrinthine bureaucracy, seemingly capable of hiding such treasures away from the public eye. Yet these whistleblowers and their revelations are often met with fierce resistance. They are frequently discredited, ostracized, or silenced. Paolo Gabriele, the source of the Vatileaks, was arrested and charged with theft, serving time in a Vatican prison before being pardoned by Pope Benedict XVI. His trial was a clear example of the risks faced by those who dare to disrupt the Church's carefully managed image. There are also countless independent researchers, bloggers, and writers who have faced similar consequences for daring to delve too deeply into the mysteries of the Vatican vaults. They often face ridicule, dismissal, or even threats for their work. Yet they persist in their quest for the truth, driven by a relentless curiosity and a belief that the world has a right to know what lies hidden within the Vatican's secretive vaults. The consequences for these truth-seekers are significant. From professional ostracism to legal repercussions, the risks are real and daunting. Yet they stand as a testament to the power of the human spirit, undeterred in its quest for truth, even in the face of powerful, seemingly insurmountable forces. The question remains, however, will their efforts ever bear fruit? Will they ever be able to pierce the Vatican's veil of secrecy and reveal the truth about what lies hidden in its vaults? For now, the answer remains as elusive as the secrets they seek to uncover. In the face of such determination, some intriguing pieces of evidence have emerged that fuel further speculation and debate. Primarily, declassified files and testimonies that suggest the possibility of pre-flood artifacts nestled within the Vatican vaults. One of the key pieces of evidence comes from a declassified FBI document from 1947. This document is a letter from an anonymous source that references the Vatican's possession of certain artifacts. The letter states, "Certain artifacts have been exhumed, which bear markings and symbols that could only have originated before the Great Flood." Though the source of this information is not confirmed, the mere mention of such artifacts in an official FBI document adds a layer of credibility to the claims. Another intriguing piece of evidence is the testimony of Archbishop Paul Casimir Marcinkus, a controversial figure who served as president of the Vatican Bank from 1971 to 1989. He was a powerhouse in the Vatican's financial affairs, which some believe could have included dealing with priceless artifacts. In a 1986 interview, he made an enigmatic comment, remarking, "You can't run the church on Hail Marys alone." The ambiguity of this statement has led some to theorize that Marcinkus may have been alluding to the Vatican's possession of valuable artifacts. Furthermore, the Vatican's own archives reveal some tantalizing hints. A 15th-century document, for instance, references a reliquary of ancient times that was gifted to Pope Innocent VIII. The document does not specify the contents of this reliquary, leaving room for wide-ranging speculation. Also, there are persistent rumors, often circulated by Vatican insiders, about certain restricted sections of the Vatican Library. These sections, allegedly off-limits to most staff and scholars, are whispered to house the Vatican's most sacred and controversial artifacts. However, as compelling as these pieces of evidence may be, they are still shrouded in ambiguity and uncertainty. None of them provide definitive proof that the Vatican is hiding pre-flood artifacts. Yet, they serve to keep the flames of speculation and debate alive. They are tantalizing hints, fragments of a larger puzzle that is yet to be fully revealed. These pieces of evidence and the mysteries they hint at continue to drive the relentless quest for truth about the Vatican's secretive vaults. Until more concrete evidence emerges, the world can only watch, wait, and wonder about the treasures that may lie hidden within the Vatican's labyrinthine depths. As the whispers about the Vatican's potential possession of pre-flood artifacts grew louder, they echoed around the world, generating a wave of public reaction. The media, both mainstream and independent, latched onto the story, fueling debates and discussions on various platforms. Headlines screamed speculation, while television programs and online forums dissected every piece of evidence, no matter how scant or ambiguous. The controversy was not limited to the public sphere. It also infiltrated academic circles, sparking heated debates among historians, archaeologists, and theologians. Some scholars dismissed the claims as baseless conspiracy theories, while others considered them worthy of further investigation, arguing that the Vatican's history of secrecy justified such scrutiny. The public's trust in the Vatican, already tested by various scandals over the years, was further strained. Many began to question the transparency and integrity of the Church, while others defended it, arguing that the rumors were nothing more than unfounded allegations aimed at tarnishing its reputation. At the heart of the controversy lay a fundamental question. Does the public have the right to know about the Vatican's possible possession of pre-flood artifacts? Those who argued in the affirmative asserted that such artifacts, if they exist, are part of the world's shared heritage and should be available for study and appreciation. They argued that, by allegedly keeping these artifacts hidden, the Vatican was depriving humanity of valuable insights into its ancient past. In contrast, those who defended the Vatican's right to privacy argued that the Church, as an independent sovereign entity, is under no obligation to disclose the contents of its archives. They also pointed out that many other institutions, both religious and secular, have private collections and are not subjected to the same level of scrutiny. Amid the whirlwind of speculation and debate, the Vatican maintained a stoic silence, neither confirming nor denying the rumors. This silence, some argued, was a tacit admission of the claims, but others interpreted it as a dignified refusal to engage with baseless accusations. The Vatican's silence only added to the enigma, deepening the mystery surrounding its vaults and fueling further speculation. As the controversy raged on, it became clear that the rumors about the Vatican's possible possession of pre-flood artifacts had struck a nerve. They touched upon deep-seated issues of transparency, trust, and the preservation of cultural heritage. And although the truth remains shrouded in mystery, the public's quest for answers continues unabated, a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown. The intrigue surrounding the Vatican vaults and the alleged pre-flood artifacts has cemented its place well beyond mere speculation, seeping into the very fabric of modern culture, politics, and technology. As with many conspiracy theories, it has taken on a life of its own, shaping narratives and influencing viewpoints in unexpected ways. In the sphere of global politics, the Vatican Vaults controversy has sparked renewed debates about transparency and sovereignty. A new generation of political thinkers and activists has begun to question the age-old balance between the right to privacy and the public's right to knowledge. This debate stretches far beyond the Vatican's walls, influencing discussions on governmental transparency, the classification of state secrets, and the public's right to access information. Within popular culture, the Vatican Vaults theory has provided creative fodder for novelists, filmmakers, and artists. Works of fiction weaving intricate narratives around secret Vatican archives, concealed ancient artifacts, and clandestine religious orders have found an eager audience, reflecting the public's fascination with the unknown. The enduring allure of the theory has also found a place in the world of gaming, with developers crafting immersive experiences that allow players to virtually explore the enigmatic vaults and uncover their secrets. In the realm of technology, the Vatican Vaults conspiracy has inspired advancements in fields such as virtual reality and 3D modeling. Efforts are underway to digitally recreate the Vatican and its mysterious vaults, offering the public a chance to virtually explore these spaces. These projects, though they may not bring us any closer to the physical truth hidden within the vaults, are testament to the influence of this enduring mystery. Beyond these tangible impacts, the Vatican Vaults theory continues to raise profound philosophical questions about our collective human heritage. What do we, as a global community, stand to gain or lose by keeping parts of our shared history concealed? How do we balance the need for institutional privacy with the public's hunger for complete transparency? And as we grapple with these questions, the Vatican Vaults, whether they house pre-flood artifacts or not, serve as an enduring symbol of the tension between knowledge and mystery, between what is revealed and what remains hidden. Regardless of what the Vatican Vaults may truly contain, the controversy surrounding them continues to shape our world in surprising ways. It serves as a stark reminder of the power of the unknown, the allure of forbidden knowledge, and the enduring human quest for truth. The lessons that this controversy offers remain relevant today as we continue to navigate the delicate balance between transparency and secrecy, knowledge and belief, history and myth. In the grand scheme of things, the Vatican vaults are a microcosm of a broader human predicament, the ceaseless struggle between the known and the unknown, between transparency and secrecy. For centuries, the human spirit has been drawn to the enigmatic, to the hidden, to the shrouded in secrecy. It's an intrinsic part of our nature, a yearning for understanding that pushes us to question, to probe, to explore. The Vatican vaults, real or imagined, are a manifestation of this inherent curiosity. They are a metaphor for the human condition, a testament to our collective fascination with the clandestine, the forbidden, and the unexplored. They encapsulate the tantalizing allure of hidden knowledge, of truths concealed and mysteries unsolved. And then there's the question of the supposed pre-flood artifacts. If truly existent, they could fundamentally alter our understanding of human history and civilization. They could represent a tangible link to a time before recorded history, a time shrouded in myth and legend. They could validate ancient narratives, giving credence to stories dismissed as mere folklore. Or they could contradict established beliefs, challenging long-held assumptions and forcing us to reevaluate our understanding of the past. But in the absence of concrete evidence, these are mere speculations. They remain within the realm of the hypothetical, fueling debate and speculation. The possibility of pre-flood artifacts, like the vaults themselves, is an enigma that keeps the intrigue alive. As we conclude our exploration of the Vatican vaults and the rumors of pre-flood artifacts, we're reminded that the allure of this mystery is not necessarily in its resolution. It's in the journey, the quest for knowledge, the tension between the revealed and the concealed. It's in the enduring human fascination with the unknown, the desire to uncover secrets, to shed light on the obscure, to make sense of the inexplicable. Whether the Vatican vaults house ancient artifacts or not, their existence, real or perceived, continues to captivate the collective imagination, reminding us of the seductive power of the unknown and the enduring allure of forbidden knowledge. The vaults, in essence, are a story, a narrative of mystery, of secrecy, of the unending quest for truth. And like all good stories, they raise more questions than they answer, leaving room for interpretation, for speculation, for wonder. In the end, the Vatican vaults continue to stand as a symbol of our collective fascination with the unknown, our ceaseless quest for truth, and our enduring attraction to the mysteries of our shared past. Whatever lies beneath the Vatican, the allure of the vaults and their purported secrets persist, a testament to the power of the unknown and the unending allure of forbidden knowledge. Thanks for listening. This has been Conspiracy Theories and Cover-Ups. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.